Alright guys, in this video we'll be looking at factoring trinomial. So this is another method of factoring, and the way you see that you have to factor using the trinomial method is you'll see three terms, okay? But it's very important that you notice that your first term, your first x variable has to be raised to the 2. Okay, so if you have x cubed plus whatever, you're not going to be able to factor trinomial. You might have to pull out a common factor first, okay? But in this question, it's factored trinomial because your first term is raised to the 2. Okay? So whenever you see a question like this, you're right away going to go to a sum product. Okay, so sum product. So what is this going to be? So you have to ask yourself, what two numbers that when multiplied, and that's the product part, so that when multiplied, so which numbers am I talking about? I'm talking about the number that's in front of the x squared, which in this case is a 1. So the 1, so that, remember, the number in front of the x squared multiplied by the last number, including the negative, including the sign. So what two numbers that when multiplied give you what? 1 times negative 15 is negative 15. So what two numbers that when multiplied will give you negative 15, and when added give you what? The middle number. So when added give you 2. Is that clear? So let me recap that. So you have to ask yourself, for the product part, what two numbers, so the number that's in front of the x squared and the last number, including the sign, those two numbers multiplied, so in this case it's negative 15. So two numbers that when multiplied give you negative 15, and when added, the sum part, give you the middle number, including the sign. In this case it's positive 2. Okay? And then what you do then is ask yourself, okay, what are products of negative 15? Well, you have negative 15 times 1, you have negative 1 times 15, right? You have 5 times negative 3, you have negative 5 times positive 3. So you have to look, okay, I have all these different factors. Which one that when I add will give me positive 2? Well, if I see, it looks like it's 5 and negative 3, right? Because 5 minus 3 give me 2. Perfect. So my factors are 5 and negative 3. What do I do with these now? Well, I come here. Don't forget your equal sign. Remember, when you do the factors, you have to put your x. So you'll have two parts with an x here. And then you just put the factors that you have. We had a positive 5, right? And what else? A negative 3. Okay. And essentially, you're done. You factored using trinomial. Okay, so very important to remember sum product. Ask yourself what two numbers that when multiplied give you the product of the last term with the sign and the first term, and when added give you the middle term with the sign. Alright guys, so pretty much done for this kind of question.